Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Well, good morning. It is Friday, January 12th. Happy Friday. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. After a video was posted online showing the University of Maryland Medical Center's Midtown campus putting a patient out on the street dressed only in socks and a hospital gown went viral, the president and CEO of the medical center said that there are no excuses for what happened to the patient. Dr. Mohan Suntha said, "We believe firmly that we provided appropriate medical care to a patient who came in to us in need, but we failed in their demonstration of basic humanity and compassion as a patient was being discharged from our organization after having received that care." He did offer apologies to the patient, her family, and the community. Suntha said that hospital officials are working on an extensive internal review, talking to everyone who was involved in the unidentified woman's care, from registration staffers to nurses to technicians. The video was filmed by a psychotherapist in Baltimore who has not been identified, showing security removing her from the hospital and leaving her in a bus stop. Sliding over into political news, the Maryland House of Delegates has voted to override a veto of a bill supporters say aims to prohibit public colleges from denying admission to people who admit committing a crime on their application. Sharice Churchill, the governor's spokeswoman, says that the bill puts students at risk and does not differentiate between a repeat violent sex offender and somebody that may have been charged with drug possessions. Supporters say that the bill doesn't block colleges from collecting that information. They say it only shifts when that information is collected. Supporters say that the bill's aim is to give people who have been incarcerated a chance at a better lives. The Senate will also need to override the veto for that bill to become law. In other veto news, Democratic House lawmakers again overrode Governor Hogan's veto of the paid sick leave law passed last year. The House voted 88 to 52 to override the veto of the Maryland Healthy Working Families Act. The Senate is expected to take that up today. The law required employers with 15 or more employees to provide up to 5 days of paid sick leave, and businesses with fewer than 15 employees to have to provide 5 unpaid sick days. Hogan vetoed that legislation last May, and he said that the law was confusing, unwieldy, unfair, and deeply flawed, saying that it would destroy Maryland's economy, hurt small businesses, and result in the loss of thousands of jobs. Shifting over into county political news, the Maryland State Board of Elections has released first campaign finance report, and it looks like County Executive Steve Schuh has more than $1 million in cash on hand, and last year alone he raised more than $800,000 for his re-election campaign. Meanwhile, his challenger, Democrat Stuart Pittman, has raised about $100,000 since he declared his candidacy in November. To put it into perspective, Steve Schuh raised and spent more than $2 million beginning in 2011 as he set his sights on the county executive office. Good news for Randall Heath, 46 out of Pasadena. Yesterday morning at about 10:45, he fell into the icy Patapsco River while water temperatures hovered around freezing. He was found clinging to the side of his kayak after falling into the river about a quarter mile from the Pasadena shoreline. Natural Resources Police believe that he was hunting waterfowl. And in really good news for a Friday, last week we told you that BGE was planning to spend their tax windfall of $82 million and give it back to the consumer. They revised their numbers, and they're going to be giving you more back. It sounds like Oprah. Last week they figured it was $82 million. They reevaluated, and they feel that they will be getting $103 million back. So by putting this back into the hands of their customers, the average electric customer will see a monthly reduction of $2.91. Last week we said it was $2.31. And the average bill for a residential customer that has natural gas and electric will see a decrease by $5.41 as opposed to the $4.27 we saw last week. So that's great news out of BG&E. Hang tight. We've got George Young with DMV Weather coming up with your local weather forecast. And of course, because it is Friday, we've got to give you a list of things to do over the weekend.
Hi, I'm Anne Arundel County State's Attorney Wes Adams. The heroin and opioid epidemic has touched every family, including mine. That's why I've teamed up with our county executive, Steve Schuh, and our Annapolis mayor, Mike Panelides, to do something about it. My job is to make sure that the drug dealers who are peddling the slow death of heroin are locked up and off our streets. But there's more to it. We have to stop the cycle of addiction at its source. We have to talk to our children about the dangers of prescription drugs and pay attention to the signs of addiction. Is your child withdrawn? Have you noticed spoons that have gone missing? Or maybe found spoons in odd places with black residue on them? Go to denialisdeadly.org right now or attend one of our Not My Child presentations occurring all around the county. You could save a life.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast for Friday, January 12th. Yesterday was definitely warmer out across Anne Arundel County, and today will be the same as well, as temps are already in the 55 to 60 degree range this morning, headed into the 60 to 65 plus degree range later today. For today, we forecasted a target high temp of 60 degrees for downtown Annapolis and 62 at BWI Airport as warmer air continues to be pulled into the area on a strong southerly flow of air ahead of a powerful cold front. But along with that warmer air comes plenty of rain today and tonight, with showers finally moving out of the area tomorrow as a cold front comes through the Annapolis area a bit earlier than expected, which will equate to breezy conditions today and tomorrow and cooler temps Saturday with highs only in the 40s. And then we return to winter quickly as low temps drop down into the teens overnight, Saturday into Sunday morning, before a very, very cold day Sunday in which highs will only be 25 to 30 degrees, some 30 to 40 degrees colder than today's high temps. And from there, the cold air stays in place in a big way with highs only 20s and 30s all of next week, with a couple of light snow chances Tuesday and Wednesday. So stay tuned for updates throughout the weekend on potential flakes next week as we move through a very active 3-day period of weather across all of Anne Arundel County today through Sunday. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free weather app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store on all of your devices by searching for DC MDVA Weather, and follow us on our website at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook so you can always stay weather informed. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Enjoy the weekend ahead with all of the different types of weather expected. But remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Did you know that more than 1,200 mental health patients had to be transferred last year by AAMC to facilities outside our area because these facilities do not exist right here in our own area? Denim and Diamonds is a fabulous, fun evening under the stars to support expanding mental health care in our community. AAMC Foundation proudly thanks RxNT for their generous $50,000 exclusive presenting sponsorship. Get more info at AAMCdenimanddiamonds.org.
Need to make plans for the weekend? We got you covered. Here are our top picks. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for the events newsletter with a listing of all the upcoming area events.
It's Friday, so that must mean it's the weekend. And that must mean that I've got a list of things for you to think about doing. Tomorrow, the Baltimore Restaurant Week opens up and it runs through the 21st. Tons of restaurants all over Baltimore have lunches ranging from $15 to $20, dinners from $20 to $35. You can get more information at baltimorerestaurantweek.com, but that does beg the question, when is Annapolis Restaurant Week? Well, February 25th to March 3rd, and they're just starting to put some of the menus up on AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com, and that's always my favorite week of the year because I get to eat at some of my favorite restaurants and discover some new ones, and maybe some ones that I've always been chicken to check out before. So put that one on your calendar for February 25th to March 3rd for the Annapolis Restaurant Week. On Sunday, the Winter Farmers Market at Riva Road is opening at 10 a.m. It was delayed from last weekend because of the storm that came through here, but if you're looking for some fresh breads and meats and everything from farmers locally, that's your place to go, 10 a.m. on Sunday, right there at Riva Road and Harry Truman Parkway. Also Sunday afternoon, it is Army-Navy game, and no, it is not football. We've already been there, done that, and we unfortunately lost that game. This is a doubleheader. This is Navy men's basketball and Navy women's basketball taking on Army at Alumni Hall at the Naval Academy. The women's tip-off is at noon, the men's at 2:30, and tickets, check this out, $10 for adults, $5 for anybody under 18. Great entertainment for a Sunday afternoon. Great cheap entertainment for the whole family. Head on over to Alumni Hall and check out some great basketball action with Navy men's basketball and Navy women's basketball. Monday morning is the 37th annual Martin Luther King Breakfast over at Anne Arundel County Community College, and it's going to be held in the Jenkins Gymnasium. Dr. Gail Christopher will be the keynote speaker. Tickets are $35. You can do a Google search for that and buy your tickets online, or you can get them right at the door. It gets underway at 7:30 a.m. And again, that's always a very impressive presentation that Carl Snowden and a bunch of other leaders in the community put on every single year, 37 years in running. A little bit later on Monday, and just keeping in mind that Monday is a holiday for pretty much everybody. The city's going to be closed, the state's going to be closed, etc. The city is having their annual Martin Luther King Parade. It gets underway at noon. It goes the typical parade route from Maryland Hall down West Street, around Church Circle, down Main Street to City Dock. The neat thing about that is that the parking at the Hillman Garage, which is the one right on Main Street, is free from 9 to 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., they will start charging regular rents. You're going to have bands, you're going to have marching units, color guards, much, much more. Martin Luther King Parade, it's a fairly new parade to Annapolis, but it's a very good one there. And while you've got free parking downtown, because the pesky legislators aren't going to be in town, make sure you take advantage of that. Go shop in local stores. Check out what we've got. We've got a bunch of new stores, especially on Maryland Avenue. I think you'll be surprised. That's it for the weekend. Make it a good one. If you're off on Monday, enjoy your holiday. If you're not, well, hey, welcome to my world. Have a great weekend, be safe, and have fun.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.